Hello everyone, my name's Paul Storm. I work for a company called Micrographics. We are an Autodesk reseller and I operate from within Cape Town, South Africa. Today we'd like to look at something new within the rebar schedules, which is the bending details. And that is a very nice little graphic that will show you what your rebar looks like. So first of all, just what we have in this model here is just a very simple idealized model of some columns, and within these columns there is some rebar, and of course one is welcome to adjust the rebar. So the rebar has a shape code. That rebar is of shape code 55. If we added in some other shape code, let's suppose it was a 72, then we could also adjust that. You can see that it adjusts itself. It likes to snap onto the rebar covers, that little green line. And if you switch that out into fine, you can actually see the actual size of the rebar there. So there are some rebar shapes within the columns. Some of them are a bit too big. But in any case, I tried to put a few different shapes around just for you to see what happens when we use the schedule. Alright, so looking at the schedule, we have some fields. Now, if you copy the schedule from year to year, sometimes you'll find that the values A, B, C, D, E, and so on become outdated from the API, so you just have to remove them and add them back. The host mark is contained. That's the mark of the rebar, the type, the count, the quantity. So the count and the quantity is a little bit different. That quantity by rebar set, that is a calculated value. The total number is bar length, total length, and the shape. Then we're not filtering by sheet or by anything else. In the sorting and grouping, choosing the host mark and the mark, then by type and then by shape. You can see the settings for the formatting. So the quantity by rebar set, there we are calculating the totals. And then the last tab would just be what the appearance is like. And then one other field that we now have the ability to add is the bending detail. It comes onto the schedule. You can see all it says is bending detail. So that doesn't help us much in terms of showing what the picture of the rebar will look like, but if we place that onto some sheets, then it will. Right, so we're not filtering by sheet, and we are itemizing every instance. I'll show you the difference between the two quickly. So the shape code, if you look at the shape code over here of 55, and then scroll your eye over the column L with the C value, there's a 600, there's a 55. Okay, so even though the shape codes are both 55 for these two items, the individual sizes might differ because the shape code only describes the shape. And that's why we like to put this as individual items. Were you to, and of course over here the total, small total and the big total are the same. Okay, and then if you sort that by, not by itemizing every instance, now it will start tallying up and it will tell you there are 25 instances that's the number. Okay, so that corresponds. If you look at the formatting, again, this is available from us if you want to use that as a basis to start from. So we like to itemize them to be showing every instance. And then we're going to split the, I've created some sheets, 4 sheets. We can then split that across those 4 sheets. Okay, the way that we like working with these, you can place them. Now you'll see that each sheet has an equal bit of the schedule. You can alter the width of the columns, and you can also, if you had space, split that column. It's a bit tight at the moment. Let's see if we can fit it in there. Not really. Okay, let's keep it to 1. Will give us enough space. And now look what happens. If you click on the schedule and you drag that little button down, it takes from the last page and it moves it up. And so you can steal from the later pages and add that to the schedule. So what happens over here as well is you can see in that last column it puts this little image, but it's not readable. So once you've pasted that onto the sheet, click on the schedule, choose to resize the rows, go with all, and then you can input the sort of width. I found 50 to be quite good. So there's the bending detail. Now you can see it pushes the schedule across the different pages. And now that we've got that increased width over there, so that looks like a much better display of the schedule. Okay, so we're lucky. There we go. And onto the next page. Okay, so you can see we would have to have enough pages. Otherwise we'll have to place it again and split it across more pages to make sure that we've got enough space to place more. But what's nice about this is it shows you the individual image of what the shape looks like and what the individual measurements are. And that will help you to generate the schedule and print a nice drawing. So I hope you found this informative and helpful. Until next time, enjoy Revit.